Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we are on day 6 of the Advent of Cyber Challenge. We're super excited about this. You can see here that they actually added a video, which they might have had that the whole time. I didn't realize it was a walkthrough video. So hopefully you guys like my walkthrough video better than the one they have on there, because I didn't realize they're changing the video every day. So let's start with the first things first. Hit that sub button. Helps out tremendously. Helps out so much more than you guys think. Hit the like button. It's huge. We're up to 2K, so that is, I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much. Now let's get into it. Now, here's the problem. Or not the problem, excuse me. Here's where we're at. Okay, I was going to upload this video earlier today, but I logged in. Try Hack Me was only on day 5, and all of my answers were gone. Hopefully you guys didn't run into the same issue. If you did, go back and just skip to the end of my videos, and all the answers are there. But apparently they know about it. So apparently this is something they're aware of. I had to go back through and answer all the questions again because I got on before they added this note that says they're going to fix it. I don't know if they are. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they'll be able to go back and find who answered what questions. So I went ahead and did them anyway. Now, that is why I checked out the video up here, because I didn't know it was, I don't know how it works. I thought they were explaining that something was broken, but they weren't. So that's fine. Anyway, so let's go ahead and hop into it. So where are we at now? So we've gone ahead, we did the OSINT, we did scanning, we did brute forcing, so we figured out how they got in. Now it looks like it says it's beginning to look a lot like phishing. So it looks like everything started from a phishing email is what they're saying here, I believe. Yep, everything started with an email. So for most of you guys, you know that phishing is a big thing, but maybe you don't realize that this is actually the #1 way that people get into networks. So this makes total sense that this is the way it all started. So this is how they actually got in. So today we're going to learn about email analysis. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. A lot of people are thinking, why do you need to teach me how to analyze an email? But I can promise you it's not as easy as you think, especially when someone can spoof the email or take over an email domain or an email exchange server and start sending emails from a legitimate source. That's when you got to be careful. The other way is, and I ran into this in my career on multiple occasions, is what if your company doesn't own a sandbox where you can open applications where you can test attachments and things like that. You need to know how to analyze those attachments without actually opening them. And that's huge, because if you actually open them, you're risking opening up your network. So let's go ahead and start diving in. Now, you guys can read this, obviously. What is email analysis? You guys understand what email analysis is. Go ahead and read that. This is good information. I'm just not going to read it word for word for you guys. So what kind of things are we looking for? So here we're looking for the from, that's the sender's email address, the to, the date, the subject. These are all self-explanatory, right? Those are things that you would expect. The difference is they can make them look very convincingly like they're not what you think they are, and that's where you got to be careful. Email signatures are provided by email services to identify and authenticate emails. That's big, because not every company has that. So for instance, if you get an email that's not verified, that doesn't necessarily make it bad, but it also is something that makes you go, let's look at it a little deeper, right? Now, it shows the server that they use to send the email, helps you understand if the actual server is used to send the email, blah, blah, blah. Unique ID of the email, okay. Use MIME version. It will help you understand the non-text contents. So let's go ahead and open up. This is the email they're giving us. We'll go ahead and open it up with Sublime. If you guys have never used Sublime, we've used it on this channel a decent amount. Oh boy, we're scrolled all the way down here. So this attachment slows the VM very badly. So just heads up, when you open it up, the lines slow it down a lot. All right, so we're back at the top. Almost. Okay, so now the X received, this is the mail servers that the email went through. That's important, because what if they're sending it, what if they're man in the middling you, and one of their servers is one of the mail servers that the email is going through. There's different instances where you can find red flags that otherwise would look like a legitimate email, is what I'm getting at. The spam score, email client name, and the X headers, these are things that the provider usually adds. So these are all things that you're going to be wanting to look at. Here's some of the red flags you're looking for. So the from, to, and CC fields, do they have valid email addresses? This is obviously no brainer. If you have invalid email addresses, you're wondering why, you're going to check that out, right? The from and to fields, having the same sender and recipient is a red flag, obviously. Now, there's all kinds of reasons that this could happen. And let's just say this. If it looks weird, it probably is weird, right? We get all kinds of emails where I work that look weird, and then you dive into them, and it's just the fact that a company's trying to spam message you. There's a difference between spam and phishing, so keep that in mind. Spam is just annoying. They're trying to sell you on something, whatever. They're not trying to hack your systems. Where phishing, they're actually trying to get into your systems or get you to do something. Okay. Having different values in this section is a red flag, the from and return path. So what does that mean? It means it's supposedly coming from Bob at Yahoo, but when you reply, it's auto-replying to John at Yahoo. That's weird, right? Why would Bob send you an email but not want you to respond to him? That's weird. So that's what you're looking at. Empty and malformed values are red flags of message IDs. Why? Because someone messed with it, probably. Email should come from official mail servers. That seems self-explanatory, right? If it's not from the server, if Yahoo's sending you an email from Yahoo servers, but when you get it, it's not from Yahoo servers, they're official ones, something's weird, something happened. Do the hyperlinks redirect to suspicious links? That's, again, pretty obvious, right? If they say, hey, you need to change your password here, and it's a yahoo.com, and you look at it, and it's actually taking you to, we'll use this example, the Yeti.com, because the Yeti's the attacker here in this case. That's pretty suspicious. Do the attachments consist of malware? Again, pretty obvious. If the attachments have malware in them, you don't want to open them. You want to check that out before you open them. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to walk you through this stuff. You guys can read this if you want, but I'm going to walk you through using those steps. So that's why I'm not going to go through it. So what is the email address of the sender? So we're looking right here. It's from chief.elf@santaclaus.thm. There you go, chief.elf. Who's the return address? The return address is murphy.evident@bandityeti.com or .thm. Now, why is that suspicious? We just talked about it. That's a red flag. The person it's coming from wants you to reply to someone else at a different domain. That's weird. Why would Chief Elf send us a message and say, hey, what's your name? Send me back this information, but send it back to someone else. That's weird. That's not normal. On whose behalf was the email sent? So it's from Chief Elf. That's who's supposedly sending it. Now, I would guess that he probably didn't send this. So that's why they're saying on whose behalf. What's the spam score? And the spam score right here is 3. Okay, what is the hidden value of the message ID field? So this is the message ID field. Where was I? Just saw it. Message ID. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take this, copy it, and we'll go ahead and copy it. And then we go over to, and I use CyberChef, and there you go. So you can see I put it in here from base64, and then it's AOC 2022 email analysis. So if you guys have never used CyberChef, it's a tool that allows you to decode all kinds of things. It allows you to do hashes, anything encoded, decoded, algorithms, all kinds of stuff. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you're going to see base64 a lot when doing emails and things like that. So it's good to know what you're looking for. Usually it's a telltale sign. If they have equal signs at the end, it's base64. That's a pretty good guess. Now, the message ID, we went ahead and found it. Boom. That's the hidden value. Visit the email reputation check website provided in the task. So they give you an email reputation site right here. And it's checking, they're saying check. What is the reputation result of the sender's email address? Now, here's where it might get tricky. I didn't check this one, the chief.elf, but he's technically the sender, right? But I'm going to assume the person that wants the information and is looking at attacking us is the Yeti one. Why? Because he's the one that you're emailing back to, and he's the one that's trying to hide his email. So that's why I put that in here, and the answer is risky. So there you go. What is the value email reputation check? It's risky. Now, check the attachments. What is the file name of the attachment? So this is the last one I think we do in Sublime Text Editor, and you can see the file name right here is Division of Labor Load Share Plan Doc. So it's a document, a Word doc, it looks like, and it's division of labor load share. Okay, cool. So there's our answer for that one. Easy enough. Now, what is the hash value of the attachment? Now, here's where we're going to get out of here, but this is the whole attachment. You can see all the way down here. That's all text, and that is the encoding of the attachment. So we'll go ahead and exit this because that's going to crash. Now, here's where you're going to want to go up here and look at what they give you, because they're giving you an email analyzer tool here. Well, they give you the exact actual, so they give you the exact command right there. Email analyzer, tac I, and then we're in the directory. Actually, I got to get in the directory. See, this VM is very slow. Keep that in mind. Okay, so we'll go ahead and CD into desktop because we're not in the desktop right now. And then now we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so we're in the email analyzer. That's the tool we're using. Tac I for what file we want to use, and it's this urgent email. Don't worry about this backslash. That's just telling the machine to read the colon correctly. And then we have the header, HTML, U, text, and extract all. Now, when we do this, I'm going to hit enter. I'm not going to do it because I already did it, and it's right here. It puts this folder and this directory in here for you. You guys may, if you don't have that, that's why, because you have to do the email analyzer. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to pull the document for me. So when I pull that document, you can see if I go to email attachments, there's one document in there, division of labor, load share plan .doc. So it pulled that document for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go CD and I'm going to say email attachments. Now I'm in the correct directory. And I'm going to go ahead and check the SHA-256 sum, which is going to give us the hash. So this will give us the hash. Okay. So you can see so far from this email, we got a text email. That's all we got. We got the email in text form. We looked at it in Sublime Text Editor, looked at all the information, got some suspicious red flags. Then we said, okay, so there's a document attached. We went ahead and extracted that. And then from there, we went ahead and got the SHA-256 hash from it. So now what we can do is we can copy this and we can say, okay, we've got the hash of it. Now let's go to VirusTotal. If you're not familiar with VirusTotal, VirusTotal actually is a site that lets us check hashes, URLs, IPs, whatever you want, to see if anyone has reported it as suspicious. So on the check side of that, if you find something suspicious, you can go into VirusTotal, upload the hash, and say this is suspicious, and then everyone else that logs in can see that that is suspicious. So there you go. We hit enter on it. I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot twice. Okay, traffic lights. All right, hopefully you guys watch, that won't be right. Okay, and you can see right here, it's 33 people have reported this as suspicious and one sandbox. So that's a pretty suspicious flag. And you can tell just by a few things here. I'm just looking at them. VBA. This is probably a Visual Basic script that's being written. So it's probably a macro. And that's just a guess, but we'll go ahead and get deeper dived into it here in a sec. Okay, so we went ahead and we've got the hash, right? We give them the hash. And then visit VirusTotal website and use the hash value and navigate to the behavior section. Okay, so now we want to look at what behaviors does it have. Okay, and you can see here's the behaviors. Okay, so it's a script, it executes, it's a script. Okay, it's got a VBA macro, so it is a Word doc that has a macro in it that has a script attached, and then creates files inside the user directory. So it's trying to hide itself. So masquerading, so defense evasion right there. It told us to go to behavior. And the second one down, the first one's execution, second one's escape or defense evasion, excuse me. So we type in defense evasion and boom. Now we're going to go to the InQuest website and use the hash value. This is another site that will give us information about the reported malicious files. So we went ahead, looked it up here. We'll go ahead and do it again. Look up. You can see I go to full page results and you can see you click on it. It says it's malicious. And it gives you some more information about it. It gives you the payload and everything. So it actually has it recorded. And then the subcategory, which is what they're asking for, is macro_hunter. So macro hunter. There you go. That's a subcategory. So if you want to learn more about phishing and analyzing emails, check this out. Perfect. So what all was that for? From one email, we now have a sender that we know is malicious, so we can block that sender in our domain. We have what file they're trying to send us, okay? So that's their attack method. That's their indicators of compromise. So we can now block that hash in our domain so it can't run. So now, even if somebody does get that email, somehow gets it from another email, clicks on it, everything, that script won't run, okay? So we have that. We also can report this to places like VirusTotal, InQuest, all these companies. And then now everyone else in the community gets this information. And now we make everyone else safer. And that's just one. You can do this all day long in emails that are being sent and find out, hey, I've got these emails, this domain's been taken over. So for instance, let's say it is a legitimate site from, I don't know, Amazon or something, and it's from support at Amazon or whatever, and they're sending you this. Well, you can, and it's legit, but they're sending you malicious documents. You can report that to the company and say, hey, look, someone's got a hold of your Exchange server because they're sending out emails from your legitimate domain and they're being signed. So that's the thing. You can really get a lot of information from these. You can help other companies, which is huge. You can see what kind of attacks people are trying to do in your industry, and you can stop them because all it takes is you to catch it once. Now I can block every indicator of compromise in that email. And then now when someone tries to attack me with that same attack, which happens all the time, guess what? I don't even have to worry about it because it's blocked across the board. Every part of it is blocked. So hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully this makes sense. I think this, so far, this Advent of Cyber is very good. I think they're going down the right path. I'm very interested to see what they do next. If they say like, okay, now the whole domain's been taken over, let's start looking, and that type of thing. Hopefully they don't keep having issues because this was day 6 and they're already having issues where it wouldn't load answers and stuff like that. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But thanks guys. Thanks again for the support. Thanks for hitting 2K. Thank you everybody, and hope you guys have a great day.